But the word of the oath or the promise which came after the Torah appoints, after Mount Sinai, appoints the sons having been perfected forever. Isn't this what Yahweh said about Noah? That he was what? Perfect in his generation. So it makes sense that he would have a son who all the world thinks that he has no beginning and no end because of the flood wiping out all information and only know him by the name of King of Peace. Also, King of Righteousness. And to sum it up, chapter 8, verse 1 and 2, where I'll sum it up. Now, the summary of what we are saying is this. We have such a high priest, Yahshua, who is seated at the right hand of the throne of the greatness in heaven. Don't forget about the 24. And who serves in the set-apart place of the true tent. What true tent? The one that was made in heaven. So that Moses, when he was shown, be sure to make it as you see the one in heaven. Which Yahweh set up and not man. Who set the one up in earth? Man. So this is talking about a tent that's in heaven and not in earth. And who becomes the high priest? Yeshua. And he has to also, this is part 2, return to offer up gifts. And that's what it goes on in, well, let me read it. Verse 3. For every priest, high priest, is appointed to offer both gifts and slaughters. So it was also necessary for this one who, Yeshua, to have somewhat to offer. For if indeed he were on earth, he would not be a priest. Since there are priests who offer the gifts according to the law, who serves a copy and shadow of the heavenly, as Moshe was warned when he was about to make the tent. For he said, see that you will make all according to the pattern shown you on the mountain. Now, I know that still takes some absorbing and really putting it all together, but it was necessary for me to take a little extra time to show you in sequential order how that works. Yeshua, he was sacrificed. He was the Lamb. He shows up in heaven as they are crying. There's no one to open the 7 seals who's worthy, because he was slain. He was killed as a sacrificial animal. Even the animals are there and giving praise and worship, and the 24 elders are bowing down, and all of heaven is excited because the one that shows up is a lamb, and he looks as though he had been slain. And he takes the scroll from the one sitting on the throne, and he is now able to open it. Why? Because he died. And he also becomes high priest after the order of Melchizedek, eternal, whereas man, they keep dying. Every time you name a high priest, he has to give up offering for himself, his own sin, and for those who were sinful, but they died. This one, he becomes high priest of the greater tabernacle, which is in heaven. So now, part 2, he gets to do, because part 1 has been completed. Part 2, he comes back to get the 12 tribes that have been multiplied from 12 to 144,000. He will bless them, and they will help him in all the nations, so that he receive his inheritance. And this is the gift that he will give to Yahweh the nations of the earth. Can we give Father praise? Hallelujah. I really needed to push through that because it takes a lot to really understand that. If you just do it in bits and pieces, you'll forget, and it's hard to see. So, are there any questions anyone have on that part or any portion of what we went through? Let's go on to the next part, and at any point, now, later on, after, it doesn't matter. I'm always willing to answer questions. Yes.
I just have one little statement to make.